Professor Rachik, it's a great pleasure to welcome you to the University of Edinburgh, visiting from Morocco. I wonder first if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, your academic interests and your research in particular, please.
Well, let me thank you first for having me here in this prestigious place and prestigious university. Well, I started as a political scientist, and I've been trained in this discipline. Then I shifted to sociology and anthropology, and my main works, my main field works, were at the beginning sacrifice and local rituals, then social change within nomadic and within peasant societies. And since the mid of 90s of the last century, I've been involved in ideologies and how religions turn into ideologies and how ideologies turn into common knowledge. This is now my mainstream question. Of course, there are many other secondary issues, but the main issue to me is to try to understand how religion turned into ideology and how ideology spread into common sense, into common knowledge.
And your discipline technically is anthropology, is this right? So you are in a sense working in the same field as two well-known English language anthropologists who have written about Morocco at different stages of their careers, namely Clifford Geertz with his famous book Islam Observed about Indonesia as well as Morocco, and then Ernest Gellner, who of course wrote a number of significant books about various aspects of Morocco. As a Moroccan anthropologist, I wonder, how do you view their works? How effective are they as describers of what happens in a Moroccan context? But perhaps more importantly, how significant are they as interpreters? Do they get it right, do you think, in your view, or are there significant areas where they really didn't actually understand the way Moroccan societies work?
Yeah. First, I really don't define myself as a Moroccan anthropologist, but as an anthropologist who lives in Morocco and who take advantage of this status of living in Morocco. But I'm not defining myself as a native or Moroccan anthropologist, and I don't see any absolute advantage of being Moroccan to discuss Geertz. I'm discussing Geertz as an anthropologist, and I don't have any, let's say, absolute resource or absolute status to say that they may be wrong because they are foreigner, and maybe I'm right because I'm Moroccan. I don't define myself in this, and I know you didn't mean that. Now, what I reproach to, of course, the first thing to be positive is that we learned a lot by reading Gellner and by reading Geertz about our society. And we don't have time to about the bazaar, about the segmentarity. We have a lot, and sometimes you need a foreign point of view to, and I'm just defending this kind of mixture of points of view, local, let's say local, with many. Local with many reserves and let's say foreign observer. What I reproach to them is that, and I don't know why anthropologists, I should find the reasons for that, why anthropologists were obliged to understand a culture or country to give this big picture about religion or about whatever. But in our topic about religion, why is it, inevitable to speak about religion without this kind of homogeneous point of view? So this is the first thing, and in my lecture, I try to raise this question. Do we need big pictures to understand something which is going in the Muslim world? My answer is we don't need it. And we can just make a comparison between Western societies and the titles. You cannot find the same titles within Muslim societies and within Western societies. You cannot find, let's say, English Islam or something like that, or English whatever, English Christianity or English Protestantism. It doesn't. In the 19th century, it sounds something good with national character or something like that. So, what I reproach to Geertz is to try, and this is a bias, methodological and theoretical bias, to try to give a homogeneous point of view of Islam in Morocco. And we know that there is big diversity and there are many patterns. And what I've learned from Geertz, positively, is that his methods, or his approach to build a pattern. What I reproach to him is to expand this pattern to a national society. But building the pattern in itself, it's really a brilliant approach and brilliant method. What I reproach to him is to expand it to a national category. Now, with respect to Gellner, it's very different. Gellner gives, let's say, if Geertz tried to give a big picture, Gellner tried to give a mega picture, which is, it is not about only Morocco, it's not only about Algeria, it's about the Muslim community. What is common to the Muslim community, and what is common to the Muslim community is this oscillation between urban religion and the rural or tribal religion, and this oscillation, the idea of oscillation, or the idea of the pendulum, is inspired from David Hume, this kind of oscillation between two visions of a religion was inspired by David Hume, and he tried to base the unity of the Muslim society on a common diversity, which is this oscillation between a purer and reformist religion and tribal and personalized religion. And this oscillation, I guess, is a mega picture, because we may find many other pictures, and it's very, very easy, thanks to many monographs on different countries, Muslim countries, to find that this pendulum is sometimes artificial.
So that, in a sense, leads us on quite naturally to some of the current discussion going on in Morocco. And there's great interest in the West, as you can imagine at the moment, in this so-called phenomenon of the Arab Spring, and lots of interesting things happening in different Arab countries. What about Morocco, I wonder? What would your view as an anthropologist be of the current scene? What are the issues that are being discussed, and who are the people who are contributing to the discussion of these? And what about the future? How do you see the future of Islam in a Moroccan context developing?
Okay. With respect to the Arab Spring, well, it is very hard to observe, and it was for us, for many scholars of us, it was a big challenge to how to observe this movement. It is ephemeral, it is puzzling, it is multi-plural, it had no leader, it had no homogeneous opinion, and it changes all along the process that takes place in Morocco. So the first thing which frustrated me, and I said it in public, is how to observe this kind of ephemeral processes, this kind of non-organizational, which has nothing to do with, you can observe political party, you can observe a monarchy, you can observe formal politics. It is a bit easier to observe it, but to observe something which is ephemeral, it was very hard to us. This is on the methodological level, if you like. Now the impact of this Arab Spring in Morocco, it has many negative and positive impacts. To be simple, very simple. The positive impact is that they contribute to bring in the public sphere many questions which was taboo, such as the link between politics and corruption, such as the link between the monarchy and the media of affairs. It's the economic role of the monarchy, and so on. And you have many issues which are, of course, discussed, but discussed privately or semi-privately. And for the first time, this, let's say, movement of every year, 20 February movement, bring these issues in the public sphere, and gave a chance to the political leaders to go a step further. So, and going a step further, and the monarchy, which I guess, I'm not sure about what I'm saying, but the monarchy seized this opportunity as a positive opportunity. So yes, I'm waiting for that. Mm-hmm. Just I'm waiting for the society to, etc. Well, I guess it was like this, but I'm not sure. And the monarchy seized this opportunity to propose, or at least to respond or to react to the claims of the movement and of other political parties. The first thing is that the reforms take place rapidly and soon. That's the first impact. The other impact, let's say negative impact, is that rapidly this movement wasn't, let's say, a driver for reform, but has a political opinion on elections, on monarchy, etc. And this was, let's say, a handicap for the movement, because many of the youth people, many of, let's say, political parties who support the movement at the beginning just leave it. For this reason, that now they are turning to have a rigid and sharp point of view on what is going in Morocco. And in the beginning, they just have this kind of slogans. We want that corruption disappear in Morocco. And this, we can gather many people about this. But when we are boycotting the elections, and when many political parties are ready to be involved in these elections, no one can follow you. And now it's really, I think, at least in the public sphere, as I said, demonstrations are getting weak and weak and weak. So the negative point, maybe, within the movement itself, is we return again to this kind of political cultures with I have a truth. And only I have a truth. And because I have a truth, I can change the world, I can change Morocco. And this, many leftists tried it in the 60s and the 70s, and it didn't work.
So that's a very interesting note on which to end our discussion in terms of the challenges for many of those who are involved in these discussions, as well as, of course, a dose of reality that rhetoric is fairly easy, action is often much more difficult. But Professor Rachik, it's been great to welcome you here in Edinburgh. Thanks very much for your comments now. And we very much hope that these various conversations taking place for exchanges and partnerships between British universities and Moroccan universities may develop positively with the help of the British Council. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Professor Hugh Goddard, for having me and for this very interesting interview. Thank you so much.